Greetings YouTube, Southern Wolverine here, back from the Kerbal Space Center with Operation Laythe. Now, last time, after having some disasters with the Laythe mission, we were able to land Bob on the surface fairly successfully, if I don't say so myself. However, the vehicle he has in orbit around Laythe has not nearly enough fuel to bring him back safely to Kerbin. So, here is our solution to that particular problem. We got a whole brand new vehicle for him. It's going to go pick him up and bring him back, and that is all it is designed to do. So we have the same launch vehicle that took the Laythe core vehicle into space. We're doing without those big boosters that proved to be the problem last time, or really not even the boosters themselves, so much as the connections for them. So I've made it a bit more compact and hopefully easier to maneuver by using the new large tanks instead of the orange tanks. The idea being is we've got the same mass roughly, but we've brought it in closer to the center, so it should be able to maneuver better. Has a lower moment of inertia for you technical folks out there. It has the same number of engines. We've put this quad splitter on the bottom just like we did before, and put 4 engines on each. I've also rearranged the upper stage engines, so instead of having 4 kind of evenly spaced around in between those stages, I've got 2 each on opposite sides. And the reason for that is when I bring the plane up, the wings can come in and dock like this, and the plume from these 4 last stage kind of engines will not hit the vehicle. Make it a little easier to dock safely. So anyway, that's the plan. I got a bunch of RCS. We got a extender down here as well with our power generation on it, and this here is all part of that upper vehicle, so we've got a big strut arrangement for the vehicle to dock on, which will also give it more space and make it a little bit easier to dock with all the stuff around, so we don't have to worry about hitting the wings or anything on the transfer vehicle. So without any further ado whatsoever, let's go ahead, set up our various gauges and things, and put the Laythe Transfer Vehicle Mark II into orbit. Alright, we're going to have to start the launch vehicle at full throttle. And once again, just as with the previous transfer vehicle, I'm launching this upper stage entirely empty, with the exception of these little hopper tanks, because there's almost nothing in there anyway, so I'm just launching them full. And as with the previous vehicle, this has a very similar weight to that vehicle, so I should be able to take whatever's left in the center stack and refuel the entire upper stage, the entire vehicle with it, and go on and get that out to Laythe. Now what I might try to do when I get it out there is I might take the transfer vehicle Mark I, or what's left of it, and dock it up on top here, because it has a large connector. I have a large connector here. That's really all this connector is for, in the hopes of trying to salvage whatever's fuel is left in that stage. It might not be worth the fuel we'll spend on it, but we'll see. What I'll do is I'll get this one into orbit, and then I'll bring, rather than spend the fuel that this thing has to rendezvous with the Laythe Vehicle Mark I will attempt to have the Laythe Vehicle Mark I dock with it and transfer over whatever fuel it has to spare after that, because I don't want to waste fuel from this, you know, on a gamble that I'm going to come out ahead. So far so good. It's accelerating kind of slow, but we got a fairly heavy payload. So even with all these massive engines on the bottom of it, it's still picking up fairly slowly. Got a nice backdrop of the moon. And of course this vehicle, just like the Laythe Transfer Vehicle Mark I, does not have a pilot. It's just got a regular capsule, or an unmanned capsule up here, sandwiched in between there, powered by the radioisotope thermal generators. That should be able to operate indefinitely, basically, until I run out of fuel, in which case it won't be able to maneuver, but it'll still technically be operating. So I don't have to worry about getting another person stranded out there, another poor Kerbal. So we're going to meet up with Bob, and he will pilot it back. Then detach and return to Kerbin. I may not end up doing all that in this episode, because as you know, these interplanetary flights take some time to do. Oh, and I should definitely be starting my gravity turn at this point. So I may have to do this across a couple of episodes. I may get out there and then do the return next episode or something like that. That sounds like a thing that we might do. Alright, let's eject those. Don't hit anything, don't hit anything. Okay, excellent. Alright, now let's get the rest of the way down to the 45 mark. And then I will pop over to... Come on, settle in there, settle in. Alright. Close enough, close enough. We're not doing any rendezvous, so this can be a little bit off. I'm going to have to do orbital inclination corrections anyway. So we're not going to worry too much about whether it's 90 degrees or 92 degrees. You know, we're just going to go with it. Alright, so how do we stand? Are we pushing out our apoapsis away from us? Because I want that 19 seconds to be going up. If it's going down, it means we're not keeping up with our apoapsis. We're at least staying even with it. I'd like to push it out in front of me here. Maybe if I pitch up just a little bit extra. Just a little bit pitch, get up to about 50 degrees. There we go. Now it's pushing away from us. I want to get that to about 30 seconds before I really start to level it out any. Does mean we're kind of wasting energy burning not in the direction of our velocity. You can see our velocity vector pretty clean in that smoke trail. And really the flames would kind of be bending this way too as they're getting caught in the wind, but Kerbal Space Program does not simulate the flames curving like that, so it would look pretty awesome though if they managed to pull it off. Alright, so we've pushed that out. Now I'm going to pitch down a little bit more so I can build up a little bit more horizontal velocity. Same thing as the previous vehicle launch, basically. A little different arrangement, but same idea. Ooh, alright. That's starting to happen. Popped over to orbital view, or orbital frame of reference. Alright, now we should be up into the upper atmosphere. Yeah, now I'm just going to lay it down completely horizontal, like so. We should be building up quite a bit of lateral velocity, which will also push our apoapsis up, of course. And this should make orbit handily with most of that center stack left. I do have to come back here and keep an eye on this fuel situation, as these booster tanks, these side boosters, will momentarily be expended. Just kind of listening for the engine noise. I do have to keep an eye on a couple of things at once here. Alright, we'll just burn this till they're out and then see where we're at. And goodbye. You've served us well, but we are done with you. Oh, let's give it a little bit more than that. We're just above 70. I want to be a little closer to 80, just to have some margin. See, this is it was actually a pretty efficient launch profile. We're going to need very little energy to circularize this orbit. You see, we've almost got an orbit already. We'll just need a quick burn right here at the apoapsis to get into something resembling an orbit. Then we'll do our fuel transfer and set off for Jool. All right. Let's do some... Whoa, okay, let's not do the physical fast forward. I think I'll catch up with you guys when I'm in orbit. See you in a minute. Alright, and we're back. I've transferred all the leftover fuel from here up into the vehicle. I am going to burn off the last of this, though, before I get rid of it, because there's about 1,000 liquid fuel left in there. I figured I might as well get some use out of it. And I'm going to have to do this burn in 2 stages, because I went and planned it a little bit too late. So you see that burn time went way up. So I'm going to just have to replot the burn. I'll get it going a little bit here. Give it, another, give it to about T plus 30 or something like that, then cut it, and we'll just burn at the periapsis until we get another escape trajectory going. And actually, because we could almost just keep burning this, but that's kind of a long burn. We'll lose some efficiency as we go. So we're just going to go ahead and cancel this out. And now that we've got a single set of engines, and we're not going to dump an engine halfway through to throw off our calculations, we're going to just go ahead and replot it and get our escape. And that's a 2.5 minute burn coming up soon. So you see a little over 30 seconds of burn has used up about what? How much? I don't know. Not all that much fuel. So this should about 300, I guess, almost 400. So with 15,000 units of fuel more, we should have more than enough to get out to Laythe and back. And since I just did this a couple episodes ago, and this flight profile is going to be very much the same, I'm just going to catch up to you guys when I make it into Jool orbit, and we'll go ahead and do our Laythe encounter from there. So I will catch up to you guys in just a moment. Okay, so we have made it to our Jool encounter. You may be able to see it just in the distance there. Now our entry isn't quite as clean as it was the previous time because I could not remember what the orbital radius of Laythe was around Jool. So I do want to do kind of like I did last time and drop this orbit down inside of Jool's orbit, and we even have an encounter with the wrong planet, or the wrong moon. Damn it, we encountered Vol. That would have been pretty amazing if we'd have been able to encounter Jool. Okay, a little bit more. Still outside of Jool, or of Laythe, rather. Okay. And I want to get a little bit more inside of it. Maybe I can take some velocity off. Whoa. That's exciting. What? Oh, I've actually got a Laythe encounter there. It's a really, really high Laythe encounter. Ooh, perhaps I can refine that a little bit. Let's see, where... Here, let me try the precision fiddling tool. Doesn't seem to be cooperating. Okay, there's the encounter. Because you see it go green like that, it means it's got another... Something's happening and it's changing the orbit. So we got an encounter and that's flipping us around. So what is our... Oh, that's actually an encounter with Tylo. Man, all the moons are getting involved this time. Last time we got through clean, didn't touch anything. Okay, where's my, where was that Jool encounter? Or the Laythe encounter, I think that was it right there. Man, that comes and goes fast. Okay. Okay, actually, I'll take that. 776 kilometers. A little bit higher than perhaps I would like. And yet, that's going to have a pretty significant effect on our velocity. And we can actually probably burn directly for entry at that point, although we'll be coming in quite fast, I think. Alright, so this maneuver is coming up Now, for whatever reason, this when I turn, sometimes this tries to turn on another axis than I'm telling it to. It should be nice and balanced still. I'm not understanding quite where that's coming from. But whatever. We're just gonna have to live with it since I'm not sending this back to Kerbal to redesign it. Hey, stop with the crazy nonsense. Okay. Come on. Come on. Do what I'm telling you to do. Or do what I want. Do what I want, damn you. There. Okay. So 20 days to this burn. Could probably do the burn sooner than that, yet having, let's face it, gotten lucky and got an encounter, a direct encounter to Laythe, I'm not going to risk losing it by, trying to get fancy. So we're just going to take it. We're going to take what we can get. And then I'll see if I can't refine it a bit too once I get an encounter, see if I can bring that down lower. Because that will make our entry burn a little more efficient. Now, expect this is probably more efficient than having to do a burn around Jool. Although I guess I'm about to do a burn around Jool. It's just not a capture burn like my previous run was. Alright, 2 days to the burn. 1 day, hours. See, now we're in Kerbal days, so it's only 6 hours. Alright, let's get down with the fast forward. Come on, don't pass it, don't pass it. I'm always paranoid I'm going to fast forward right past my burns. Since we're in a super high fast forward, trying to get close to it, and then it zips right by. And this one I want to be pretty precise on because, like I was saying, I was lucky to get this encounter. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. That'd be a real shame. Okay, so this burn should begin at T minus 24 seconds, we'll call it, to give ourselves a warm-up second. Alright, here we go, here we go. Counting down. Alright, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, stuff's happening, stuff's happening. It's coming down pretty quickly. Still have lots of fuel left in these, these boosters, these outriggers. So that should be more than enough for Laythe entry. I'll probably still have some left. I'm not sure how big this Laythe entry burn is going to end up being. So there's that Vol encounter, that Tylo encounter, so we got to burn right through that. And keep coming down. We might get an encounter earlier. We'll just have to kind of monitor this as we get close to it. We might actually be able to do better than that, 700 kilometer, periapsis that we're looking at. So I'm going to throttle down. Oh. Okay, let's just lose. Yeah, that came up fast. Oh, we actually did do better. Okay, no more fiddling. Okay, I lied. I'll do a little bit of RCS fiddling here. Just want to turn this to point, get oriented so that I can, have some frame of reference, which will be my velocity, will be my frame of reference. Come on, stop this noodling around. Okay. Let's see if I can't bring that down to just under 100. Okay, there we go. That's pretty darn cool that we're able to get a direct encounter like that. I don't think I've ever been able to do that before. Combination of early planning and, let's face it, dumb luck. Ooh, I do want to do one more thing. I think you look at it, and see how inclined that purple orbit is? That's because we are coming in above Laythe. We're going to pass through its orbit, it's going to drop us down, and it flings us into this. So what I want to do is I want to see if I can't improve that a little bit. So let's try if that made it worse. There, that's what I want, I think. So that's raising my periapsis back up. That's okay, I can do something about that in a moment. I just want to fix my inclination. I'm just using RCS. I got tons of RCS. Literally huge amounts of RCS. This will get us closer to Laythe equator. See, it did cost us quite a bit of periapsis, but I'll just use my RCS and bring that back down. So that'll give us a much cleaner entry. It'll bring us much closer to passing over where the space plane landed and closer to the orbit of the Mark 1 transfer vehicle, which we want to get a rendezvous with in order to, make use of its fuel. So there we go. That should... see it? It got all messed up again. Maybe I have to do two things at once. Okay. I may not be able to really improve this much. Well, I'll just deal with it, I guess. Darn it! So much for that. It was worth a try. Let's just get this closer. I'm probably slightly above or below the plane, so I can't probably improve on that from my current position. What I'll do is I think I'll fast forward it a bit. That encounter's not for another 30 days. So I'll fast forward it a bit, and maybe I'll try to clean it up a little bit as we close. Maybe let me see if I can set Laythe as my target. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I'm off the plane. So what I'll do is I'll get close to the ascending node here, and I'll try to fiddle with that again. And from there, I should be able to get this to level out. See, the problem was, that's an ascending node. The problem was I was below the plane of Laythe's orbit. So see, from here, let's try that again, and I should be able to get it from here. So let's get an edge on view. And wrong way, maybe. So now it's going to take more fuel to do anything from here, unfortunately. Because the further away you are and you make these adjustments, your changes are magnified by the distance. I'm not sure that's getting much better. A little bit, maybe. Alright, forget that. That's not really getting me a lot of payoff for the fuel I'm spending on it. We'll just deal with it. We'll just deal with it. There she is. Where's Laythe? Damn it. Oh, whatever. We'll see it soon enough. Fast forward. But first, quick save. We don't want to miss our opportunity to rescue poor Bob, who has been sunning himself on the Laythian beaches for some time now. Okay, encounter's coming up. Now let's see what this is going to look like. Hopefully this isn't too polar. Looks like it's going to be pretty well inclined. So we'll have to do some adjustment there, but for now I think I'm going to just settle with getting it into orbit, and we'll deal with it from there. Doop. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's pretty severely inclined. That's okay. I should be able to time things appropriately. Okay, stop focusing on Jool, please. Thank you. Should be able to get things inclined to the point where I can actually not have too bad of an incline or accommodate it, whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Let's just get into this orbit. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Can I do anything about this? And see, unfortunately that my periapsis is just about the most northernmost part of that orbit, so I'm not really going to be able to do much about the inclination from there. Well, whatever, so be it. That'll get us into something resembling a almost circular-ish orbit. Alright, now that'll be a 6-minute burn coming up in 16 minutes. Alright, so I will spare you guys the 6 minutes of listening to these engines burn and catch up to you when we have a capture. here, closing out the last bit of this burn. See, we still have a fair amount of fuel left in these outriggers. We have achieved capture, and now we're just bringing the apoapsis down to something that's going to be a little bit easier for rendezvous and docking purposes. And we are here. We have the rescue vehicle on station. And seeing how much fuel I burned getting here, I think I do want to. I'm definitely going to try to get the transfer vehicle here, Mark 1, to dock with the Mark 2 and stock it up as much as I can manage. Because I think we're going to want every drop we can get. We might have enough to get back with what's on the vehicle. That we probably do, in fact, but I would rather be sure than take any chances whatsoever. We are trying to bring a man back to safety after all. Alright, there we go. We'll call that a successful burn. Successful, return to Laythe. The rescue mission is not successful yet. We still have to get our Kerbal off the surface and get him up to an encounter and rendezvous with this vehicle. But so far, so good. In any case, I'm Southern Wolverine, here in orbit with the Laythe Transfer Vehicle Mark II Rescue Vehicle, wishing all of you good day.